Alright lads, welcome back to Kiwa Cat's House of Magic. Okay housemates, today we're going to be refinishing Saskia's manabase. So I pulled out Ancient Tomb and what else did I pull out? Fuck it, it doesn't matter. Anyway, let's start with explaining what the hell Saskia is, what she does, how she works. Okay, Saskia, as you can see, is a black, green, red, white, 3/4 legendary human soldier with vigilance and haste. When she comes to play, choose a player. You can choose yourself if you want to. And I'm sure there are niche times when you would do that. Like if you take damage, you gain them, you know. You could really set it up to be funky. But anyway, I didn't set it up to be that funky. So I'm going to choose somebody that isn't me. And when I choose somebody that isn't me, whenever one of my creatures deals combat damage to anybody, it deals that much damage to the chosen player. So if I choose one guy, and I attack that guy, and my creatures hit that guy, he takes double damage. If he's got a big board presence, and I attack that guy, over there, that one, this guy over here, he takes damage too. Fuck your board presence. Fuck your defenses. Take some damage. So that's what she is. That's, and she kind of says, you know, build a lot of creatures with evasion, things that trigger on damage, play a lot of big fatties, smash face, trample, flying, and unblockable are your friends. So what did I actually do after building that the first time? Realized this is really the way I want to play. Because as soon as you play Saskia and you name somebody, they are your enemy for some reason. I don't understand. I have to name somebody, and if I name you, you should feel honored that you have been chosen. But that's not the way they look at it. They feel picked on and hurt because they've been chosen. So I took apart the attack deck, and Saskia is now tokens. So she's now tokens, and I only bring her out when I have a critical mass of tokens and I feel like I can do some stuff. But if I can't do some stuff, I have things like Chiron Negotiations here. Chiron Negotiations being a 2 red enchantment. Tap and untap creature control. Now, it doesn't give the creature this ability. That's important. So you tap and untap creature control. And Chiron Negotiations deals 1 damage target player. It doesn't say your creatures gain tap, deal 1 point of damage. No, so if you play a bunch of creatures and they've got summoning sickness, so what? You can send them to negotiate. Crop rotation, now a game changer. Green, instantly sacrifice a land and put guy's card in play. That's basically what it says. Auriok Champion! Oh my god, she's so great in this deck. One game I got well over, not up to 150, but well over 100 life. Jesus Christ. Just based on her. She got me over 100 life. She's a hot little mama that helps heal you. White, 1/1, protection from black and red. Whenever another creature comes to play, any creature, anybody that casts it, comes to play, you gain life off that. Sterling Grove, green, white. Your other enchantments have Shroud. You can sacrifice it, and basically Enlightened Tutor for enchantment. You can sacrifice it, go find an enchantment, shuffle, and put that on top. I don't like doing that. I like having my enchantments be shrouded. Okay, Illustrious Wanderglyph. I've got 3 of these effects in this deck. 4 white for 2/2 Golem. Doesn't seem that strong. You better do something cool for 5 fucking mana. Other artifact creatures get +2/+2 as long as you have the city's blessing. I don't have a whole lot of artifact creatures in here. What else do you do, man? You're not impressing me. At the beginning of everyone's upkeep, each upkeep, create a 1/1 colorless gnome artifact creature token. Oh, so you give me a creature every turn? Yes. Oh, you're good. I like you. Sarkinvol, 2 green red for 4 starting loyalty, crazy ass planeswalker. So nutcase here, +1 creature get +1/+1 and haste until end turn. That's his main reason for being in here. Number 2, -2. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap it. It gains haste. So I can snatch somebody's creature, do some shit with it, and then if I have a way to sacrifice it, I can get rid of it because it's mine. do what I want for a turn. And then neg 6, put 5 4/4 dragon creature tokens with flying into play. Cool. Sarkin, you work in here. Austere Command. One of the premier board wipes in the deck. Maybe the only... No, I've got an Elspeth in here. That also wipes the board. Anyway. 4, white. Choose 2. Blow up all artifacts, or all enchantments, or all the small creatures, or all the big creatures. Any combination of those 4 things you want in 2. So you can blow up all the artifacts and all the big creatures. You can blow up all the enchantments and all the small creatures. Whatever tickles your fancy. Dictate of Erebos. 3 black, flashing enchantment. Whenever creature croaks, each opponent sacrifices a creature. So if I got a lot of tokens, and a lot of my creatures are croaking, then I should keep parity. Bitter Blossom. Somebody said, why do you have this in deck? It doesn't really belong in the deck. I need cheap, fast ways of generating tokens. The deck has become really token centered, really token focused, so I need some ways of getting them out and down before turn 4 or 5, and Bitter Blossom fits the bill. For 1 in the black, Tribal Enchantment Fairy. Are they going to start calling these typal enchantments? If they bring tribal back, are they going to call it typal? That's retarded. Fuck wizards and their bullshit. The beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life, and you create a 1/1 Black Fairy Rogue token flying. Tempt with... Oh, man, this card. Oh, it's so much fun. I love it. I love this card. It's my favorite card. So look at the little mouse there. Hanging out with a bird. Being tempted by discovery. So, as I've said before, when you cast this in a 4-man game, one guy is going to be saying, don't do it. And he's objectively right. The other guy, one of the guys, who's either mana screwed or feels like he's mana screwed, is going to say, I'm going to do it. I need a land, man. You don't understand, bro. I'm dying here. And the middle guy leans either one of those ways for the most part. So the guy that wants the land, he's going to do it. He's going to take your offer. You're getting Cabal Coffers and Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth into play off that guy. Thank you, that guy. The middle guy, seeing this, is probably going to jump off the fence and say, hey, I want a land too. And the 4th guy is going to say, well, fuck it. What's the difference between 3 bullshit lands and 4? I'll go get a land too, you assholes. And then bang, you've got 4 lands. It doesn't always work that way, but 9 times out of 10, that's the way it seems to go, and I love it. March of the Multitudes. X, green, double white, convoke. Your creatures can help cast a spell. For each creature you tap, it pays for 1 color. So you got a bunch of tokens, you can make a bunch more. Make a bunch of tokens, baby. That's what the deck wants to do. Create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens instantly. Instantly create them with lifelink. Bang! There's your block. How many creatures do you have block? 2. Okay, attack the army. Bang! I block your fucking army. Suck it. Beast Within. 2 and a white. 2 and a white. Nah, that's fucking the other card. That's the card over here. Generous Gift. Beast Within is 2 and a green. Yes, I can. I'm not colorblind yet. Instantly destroy target. It can be land. You can destroy any permanent. Anything. Land, creature, artifact. A Yamama 69 Chevy. Its controller puts a 3/3 green beast creature token onto the battlefield, and you've blown something up. Illustratorn, Grand Cenobite, 5 white for 4/7 vigilance. I don't forget as often as I used to, but there was a period of time, a longer period of time than I care to admit, where I would always forget she has vigilance. No matter if I'm playing her, somebody else is playing her. Because that's not why I'm playing her. I'm playing her because she fucks up my opponent's creatures and buffs mine. The vigilance, that's just extra. That's just nice. So she's a 4/7 vigilant praetor. Your creatures get +2/+2. Creatures you don't control get -2/-2. So, anti-token strategy for the opposing side. Benadras Witherboom. So, Monsieur Witherboom here. 5 black-green for 4/4 flying Elder Dragon. Beginning of each upkeep, you get a 1/1 black and green pest. When that pest dies, you gain 1 life. And also, you can pay 10 life and untap all your lands once per turn. I've discovered that is a very nice ability to have. I'm very appreciative of the fact they put that on this card. Defense of the Heart, and I'm also appreciative that they did not say you can only do it on your turn. March of the Multitudes, keep it in mind. Defense of the Heart. In green, at the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent controls 3 or more creatures, sack it. Is it a May? No, you have to sack it. If an opponent controls 3 or more creatures, you have to sacrifice Defense of the Heart, search your library for up to 2 creature cards, and put them into play, and then shuffle. Now, you could fail to find, but you have to sacrifice it if they have 3 or more creatures. I never really fully appreciated it for it. I always thought it was a May, because there's so many damn cards, I can't know all of them. Some of you are saying, you've been playing for 30 fucking years, you better know all of them. Noob. Alright, Clever Concealment. 2 white, instantly any number of target non-land permanents you control phase out. So you can phase out all the number, you can phase out. Since it doesn't target, it does target. Since it targets, where was I going with this? And it also has Convoke. Who cares? Terror of the Peaks. 3 red for a 5/4 Flying Dragon. Spells your opponents cast to target Terror of the Peaks cost lightning bolt them. So if they try to target Terror of the Peaks with the spell, they get lightning bolted. Fuck them. Whenever another creature you control enters the battlefield, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to anything you feel like. Anything. Tendish Dryad. This is a green Wanderglyph. She creates saplings. She gives saplings +2/+2 as long as the city's blessing, but she's the same card. Just in green. Smothering Tithe. Game Changer. 3 and a white. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they may pay 2. If they fail to do so, you get a treasure token. Jetmir. Nexus of Shenanigans. He's cool. He's really cool. When I put him in the deck, I was thinking, I like how he looks, but I don't know how he's going to work. Let's give him a try. And then I had him in play. And I hit that critical mass of 9 creatures. I was like, holy fuck. If you've got 9 creatures, your creatures get +1 in Vigilance, then they get another +1 in Trample, and then they get another +1 in Double Strike. So if you have 9 creatures, they get +3/+0, Vigilance, Trample, Double Strike. Bang! He's fucking cool. Sun Titan. I like Sun Titan. I like him a lot. Especially in this deck with all the fetch lands. Introducing the Bloodstained Mire into Saskia, which I will do at the end of this, gives her 6 fetch lands. So Sun Titan will always have a target. If not some permanent, at least a fetch. 4 white for a Vigilant Giant. 6/6. Whenever he comes to play or attacks, return a permanent with CMC 3 or less from your graveyard directly into play without any other nonsense. I need to change the battery. Did I catch that? Did I talk about Arachnogenesis and it just... Maybe I didn't have it going. Okay. Arachnogenesis. 2 and a green. Instantly create X 1/2 green spider creature tokens with the reach. Where X is the number of creatures attacking you. Prevent all combat damage that would dealt this turn by non-spider creatures. So, they're attacking you. You're not going to take any damage from unblocked creatures unless they have spiders. Which if they don't, you can just have all your spiders gang block something that you want to kill. And kill it. Bang, dead. Don't have to deal with it for a little while. Peripheral Scout of the Forge. Second of the impact tremor effects. 3 and a white for a 6/5 indestructible red god. Alright, so whenever another creature enters the battlefield into control, he deals 2 damage to each opponent. Terror of the Peaks is a bit more versatile, variable, in that he deals damage equal to the incoming creature's power. This guy just deals 2. So if you create a bunch of 1/1 tokens, he's like, yeah, I'm going to hurt somebody real bad. Terror of the Peaks is, yeah, I'm going to hurt somebody, but not as bad as Perforos. He's the boss. And then he's got this other weird thing, 2 in a red. Creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn, and you can dump as much mana into it as you feel like. Well, if you have the mana. I mean, there's sometimes I feel like I really need 10 mana and I only have 4. So I feel like I want 10, but that's just not the way it works. Anyway, Grave Titan. 4 black. Death Touch 6/6 giant. When he comes to player attacks, you get 2 black zombie creature tokens. Token generation. Anointed Procession. If an effect will create 1 or more tokens that you control, it creates twice as many instead, for the low cost of 3 and a white. Although financially the card's kind of expensive. I think it's about 25 euros now. Nuts. Speaking of nuts cards, I'm glad I bought this one years ago. I've had this for about 15 years. And he's gotten kind of up there a couple times. Deranged Hermit. 3 green for a 1/1 echoing elf. When he comes to play, you get 4 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens. And he gives all scrolls +1/+1 because he's a nice guy, but he's got echo, so he's marked for death. Grand Crescendo. White X. Create X 1/1 green and white citizen creature tokens. And your creature's green indestructible until end of turn. Sweet. Kit Kanto, Mayhem Diva. I like this card a lot. She's like Jetmir. I just put her in just because she looked like fun. I didn't really think much of it. But then when I played her, oh, she's fucking hilarious. In fact, it's so much that I had Defense of the Heart. And when I broke Defense of the Heart to go find things to defend me, one of the creatures I found was Kit Kanto. Because I wanted to have fun with her. And then, of course, 2 or 3 turns later, Long Pete did Swords Plowshares here because I'm having too much fun. Thank you, Long Pete, for being a party pooper. So, Kit Kanto, Mayhem Diva. 1 green, red, white for a 3/3 kitty cat bard. Druid. She's a kitty cat bard druid. Wow, a lot of keywords there. Types there. A lot of stuff there. When she comes to play, create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. Beginning of combat on each player's turn, you may tap 2 untapped creatures you control. When you do, target creature the player controls gets +2/+2, trample, and goaded until end of turn. So, if you've got a bunch of tokens, and you've got her, you can really fuck with people. You look at somebody's army, and you think, I don't want any of that shit attacking me. But you're probably going to attack somebody. Here, I'll help you decide who you're going to attack. It's not going to be me. You have 2 other guys. Take your pick. So she's a lot of fun. I like her. Felwar Stone. Tap for 1 mana of any color an opponent's lands can produce. Aura Shards. 1 green white. Whenever a creature comes to play under your control, you may blow up an artifact or jam it. Good that it says may. Tempt with Vengeance. Red X. Tempting offer. Put X 1/1 red elemental creature tokens haste on the battlefield. Each opponent may also put X 1/1 red elemental creature tokens haste onto the battlefield. Not that the haste is going to do anything for them, because this is a fucking sorcery. For each player does that, though, you get an additional X 1/1 red element. So it's playing game. And I think it was Long Pete, when he was still new. So I cast Tempt of Vengeance. And I created some tokens. And a Perforos out. Perforos are impact. I had something that was going to deal damage to them for creatures coming into play. And I asked, does anybody else want creatures? And Long Pete says, yeah, I want creatures. I need creatures. And I said, are you sure? And then the genie explained to him what's going to happen if he takes those creatures. I'm going to get twice as many of the creatures I'm creating, and I'm going to hurt them twice, my opponents twice as bad with an impact tremors effect. So he's like, fuck, I really need the creatures, but I don't want to get hurt that bad. So Tempt with Vengeance is not as tempting as Tempt with Discovery for some reason. Helm of Possession. 4 to cast, 2 to use. When you use it, sacrifice creature. Gain control of target creature as long as you control the helm and the helm remains untapped. And you don't have to untap it during your untap step. You may choose not to, unless you have Seedborn Muse, which you don't untap it during your untaps tab, but you untap it during everybody else's, because that's what Seedborn Muse says. She doesn't say you may untap your stuff with everybody else. She says, motherfucker, you summoned me out of the woods. You are going to untap your shit on everybody else's turn. Do you understand me? Do you got me? I don't care what you have going on. Don't summon me without facing the consequences. That's what she says. Normally there are no consequences, but when there are, she's pretty strict about it. Ink Shield. 3 black white. Instantly create some inklings. Let me just go from the top down. So, Fog. For each 1 damage prevented this way, create a 2/1 black and white inkling creature token with flying. So it's kind of like Arachnogenesis, except instead of 1/2 spiders, you get 2/1 inklings with flying, and the inklings don't have indestructible, don't have damage prevention. Arachnogenesis prevents damage that non-spiders would do. Inkling does not, but they fly. So if you don't block any of those creatures because you're fogging anyway, you should get a good number of flying creatures to punch somebody in the head with. Elspeth Thrall. 3 white white, 4 loyalty Elspeth, +2, gain a life free creature control. Yeah, sometimes that's a lot. -2, put 3 1/1 white soldier creature tokens onto the battlefield. -5, blow up all of the permanents except for lands and tokens. Interesting. Soul Ring. Artifact Mutation. Green white, blow up an artifact. It can't be regenerated. Not at all. No. It just gets blown the fuck up. Now if it's indestructible, of course nothing happens. Now actually, if it's indestructible, I have been told, I haven't seen it in practice, but I've been told the way this works is you attempt to destroy it, but you still get the tokens. You still get the X 1/1 green sapling creature tokens, where X is that artifact CMC. Since I haven't actually had it come up yet, I haven't investigated further, and it's all just an intellectual curiosity at this point. So if any of you know the definitive answer and you've been watching the video this long, let me know. Comments below. Dryad of the Listen Grove, 2 and a green for 2/4 exploration and prismatic omen, stapled together on a 2/4 body. Arcane Signet, yeah, it's like Soul Ring. Everybody knows what that does. Chromatic Lantern, 3 land you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color except blue, because she doesn't have blue in her identity. So it really doesn't do that in Commander. How sad. Oh well, I don't need blue. Goblin Bombardment. 1 in a red. Enchantment. Sack creature. Deals 1 damage to any target. I've got this deck on read, this stupid Heir Apparent deck with Goblin Bombardments. Aurelia's War Call. World Leader's Call. And it's kind of funny how I've got a bunch of tokens and people don't understand what's going to happen with the Goblin Bombardment. But all the lads that play with Commander, they know what's going to happen with the Goblin Bombardment. Tempt with bunnies. Oh, this is just so fucking cute. I love this card. 2 and a white. Tempting Offer. Draw a card and create a 1/1 bunny rabbit token. Then every opponent may do the same, and for each opponent who gets a bunny rabbit and a card, you get an additional card and an additional bunny rabbit. Tempt with bunnies. Pitiless Plunderer. He's got a combo. Let's look at the combo buddies here. So, Pitiless Plunderer. 3 and a black for a 1/4 human parrot. Whenever another creature controlled dies, create a colorless treasure artifact creature token. Color artifact token with, it's a treasure. Create a fucking treasure. I shouldn't have to explain this. Sometimes I'm not sure who's watching, so I tend to either under-explain or over-explain. I haven't found a good middle ground yet, because I'm making this channel for whoever the hell sees the thumbnail, clicks on it, or just my frequent flyers that like hearing me ramble about cards. So maybe I need more detail, maybe less, I don't know. Probably more consistency is what I really need. And Cheddarfang, Squirrel General. Tuna green for a 3/3 forest. That's the other thing in Arena. A lot of people don't realize he has Forest Walk until I go to attack and they're like, why can't I block? And then they realize it and they're like, oh fuck. Oh yes. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, create those tokens plus that many 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens. Black, sacrifice X squirrels, target creature gets neg X plus X neg X until end of turn. So, creature dies. I get a treasure. Treasure comes into play, I get a squirrel. Sacrifice the treasure for the black, sacrifice the squirrel, give a creature plus X neg X. Pillar of Splendor says, creature control died, have another treasure. Chatterfing says, hey, treasure, that's another squirrel. So then you sacrifice the treasure, for the black, sacrifice the squirrel, give that same creature an additional plus X neg X, at which point, since another creature died, Pillar of Splendor says, hey, how long are we going to do this? Have another treasure. So it's a machine gun. It can gun down all the creatures pretty quickly. All I need is these guys in play and some creature to get it started. Ideally, another squirrel, like with Drain's Hermit, but anyone will do. Champion of Lap Dance. So Champion of Lap Dance, 1 double green for a 1/1 human warrior. Creature's power less than hers, can't block creatures I control. When another creature comes into play under my control, she gets a +1/+1 encounter. Bigger she gets, the less my opponents can block me. But here's the thing, playing this deck, so I do have some effects, her Jetmir, Saskia herself, that lead me to want to attack. Lead me to want to attack with the army. But since I decided to go wide with tokens, I'm leaning more heavily into the impact tremors, Perforos style effects of ranged combat, of artillery, rather than direct infantry assault. Although that is a backup possibility, as you've seen with Champion and Jetmir. Generous Gift. It's a white beast within. Shiny Impetus. I just want to play it. I just was listening to this guy talk about this card, and he said it's a lot of fun, so I want to see how it goes. And if the creature dies, it's enchanting, or the enchantment gets destroyed, which is pretty likely, Sun Titan can bring him back. So what is Shiny Impetus? 2 and a red for an enchantment. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and is goaded. Whenever that sumbitch attacks, I get a treasure token. So I go to one of my opponent's creatures, I make it bigger, and whenever it attacks, and it has to, I get treasures. It should be fun in this deck. Eladamri's Call. Green, white. Go find a creature, show it to everybody, put it in your hand, and then shuffle. Whenever I look at I like the art. I like Kev Walker's art. I don't know what the fuck he's writing. It's like a giant goat. Super goat. The goat monster. Sylvan Library. 1 into green. During your draw phase, draw 2 more cards, and you can keep them all. You can draw 2 extra cards, but for each extra card you draw, you pay 4 life. So if you're gaining a lot of life, for 8 life a turn, you can draw 3 cards. Normally, that's a diminishing return proposition. But if you've got the life gain going, you can really start burning through your library, drawing a lot of cards. Nadir's Nightblade, 2 and a black for a 1/3 elf warrior. Whenever a token you control leaves the battlefield, and she doesn't care why. Of course, you can't flicker them. You could try. But if they get exiled, they get destroyed. For whatever reason, you sacrifice the treasure tokens. She doesn't care. All she cares about is seeing tokens go away, and she punishes your opponents for it. I'm not sure what the flavor of that is, who Nadir is, and why his Nightblade would want to punish people for you sacrificing your tokens, like the treasures. Okay, I'm going to burn through my treasures. Why would you do that? Now I'm going to hurt your opponents and give you life. I don't understand how this works, but I like it, baby. I like it a lot. Keep doing that. Oh, you got it, Big Daddy. So she's a good girl. Doubling season, 4 and a green, jam it. An effect will put one or more tokens play into control, put twice as many. Effect would place one or more counters under permanent control. As said, you get twice that many. But not planeswalkers. Paying a loyalty cost, up or down, is not putting another counter on the planeswalker. It's paying a cost. Now if you have, I think it's Innkeeper's Talent, the way it's worded, you will get extra counters on your planeswalkers for ticking up their loyalty. It's kind of funny that way. Mog Infestation. This can actually be a game-finishing card, and for not the reason that some of you are thinking. 3 red. Destroy all creatures target player controls. For each creature put into any graveyard this way, put 2 goblin tokens into play under the player's control. Those goblin tokens are 1/1 red creatures. So, let's say I have Purphoros, and I have 10 creatures, and my opponents are at sub 20 life. I can Mog Infest myself. And since Purphoros is indestructible, it doesn't matter if he's active or not. So I infest myself, and my 10 creatures suddenly become 21 goblins, and Purphoros deals 40 points of damage to all of my opponents. I don't know why I said if they're at sub 20. If they're at sub 40, that'll do the trick too. That'll just kill them dead. 20 creatures, Purphoros, 2 damage per, bang. Or, if they just have some creatures you don't want to deal with, a lot of creatures, then here you go. All your big nasty creatures become 1/1 goblins. I think I can deal with those a little bit better. Maybe not, since he's got a fucking coat of arms over there, but I'm going to try. War Leader's Call. 1 red-white for enchantment. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever a creature enters battlefield under control, War Leader's Call deals 1 damage to each opponent. Nature's Lore. 1 in the green. Go find a forest card, put it into play, then shuffle your library. Impact Tremors. So this is half of War Leader's Call. 1 in a red. Whenever a creature comes to play under control, deals 1 damage to each opponent. Eternal Witness. 1 green for 2 Inhuman Shaman. She comes to play. Any card you want to get back out of your graveyard, go ahead and do it. Is it a may? You may. So you don't have to. Ashnod's Altar. Sacrifice creature. Add 2 mana, colorless mana to your mana pool. Play it as a mana source. So, the reason I have this here is if, say, I have March in the Multitudes. Let's say I have Deranged Hermit and his 4 squirrels. I cast this, and I've got March in the Multitudes in my hand. Well, I can sacrifice those squirrels for 8 mana, so I can create more tokens with the March in the Multitudes. There was another reason I had this in here too, but I can't remember what it is offhand. Did it combo with something else? I don't know. Anyway, it's a good card in the token deck. Conduit of Worlds. 2 green. You can play lands from your graveyard. You can also tap it. Choose target non-land permanent in your graveyard, and if you have not cast a spell this turn, you may cast that card. So it doesn't work on land. It says non-land permanent. It says non-land permanent right there. So I was about to say, since it says cast, you can't use it on a land. But it says non-land permanent in the first goddamn sentence, doesn't it? Well, one of these days I should learn how to read English. It seems like that would be a very useful ability. So, you can cast that card. If you do, you can't cast anything else. So basically, you can, if there's something in graveyard you really need, you can get it back, but that's all you're casting this turn. It better be worth it. Elspeth, Sun's Champion, 4 white white, +1, create 3 1 white soldier creature tokens. Neg 3, kill all creatures with power 4 or greater. Neg 7, you can enable with creatures control have +2/+2 in flying, making them bigger, making it so if you neg 3 her again somehow, you'll probably kill your own creatures, which is likely not what you want to do. Caretaker's Talent, 2 and right. Whenever one or more tokens you control enter, draw a card, but only once per turn. But that's fair, because it's reliable. When this class becomes level 2 for the cost of 1 mana, 1 white mana, create a token that's copy target token you control. Okay. Level 3, 3 and a white mana. Creature token control at +2/+2. Sweet. But Elspeth will kill them. As long as I keep them 3/3, she won't kill them, but we've got a lot of these effects in here that make them bigger, so you've got to watch Elspeth. She might kill your army by mistake. She's crazy sometimes. Balin, the Haymaker. See this red chili on the end of his staff? He's going to shove that right up somebody's nose and twist it sideways. He's going to fuck up somebody's day. And that's red hot chili he's going to shove up their nose. Green, red, white for a 4/3 Rabbit Warrior. Tap 2 and tap token you control. Add 1 mana of any color, except blue, because Saskia doesn't have blue. We've been over this. Tap 3 and tap tokens you control. Draw a card. Tap 4 and tap tokens you control. Put 3 +1/+1 counters on Balin, and he gains trample until end of turn. He's got a lot of neat abilities. And I've got a lot of tokens. Well, if the deck works, I'll have a lot of tokens. 3 visits. It's Nature's Lore with a different name, a different art. I really want to get the original Portal 3 Kingdoms 3 visits. I don't have one of those. I like the art. I used to have one, but I stupidly sold it because I thought it would get reprinted with that art. No, it did not. So now I need to spend about 20 euros and buy another copy, so I have it because I like the way it looks, but that's just me. Stroke of Midnight. This is just another Beast Within generous gift, except it can't kill lands. In exchange for not being able to kill lands, the controller of the whatever you're blowing up only gets a 1/1 human creature token, not a 3/3 elephant or a 3/3 beast. So they get a smaller token and you can't hit their lands. I don't know if that's a good trade-off, but it is what it is. Alright, so let's look at the manabase, which is what I intended to start with, and then veered wildly off course into a complete deck breakdown. So I want to put in her Blood Crypt, Bloodstream Iron, Fountain Port. Luckily for you, I've already taken up the cards that I want to replace. Other than the Ancient Tomb, I do not remember what the other ones are, and it doesn't really matter anyway. So she's kind of balanced among all 4 colors, kind of. Probably a little bit more green than anything else. So she's got 2 of each of her basics in Khans of Tarkir. She has an Exotic Orchard. Add 1 mana of any color that land opponent controls could produce, except blue, of course. Cabal Coffers and Urborg. So she has 37 lands. This one does nothing. I should really make it 38 lands. I did this with Saskia. Went through the same exercise. And to be honest, for Kestia went through the same exercise. That was yesterday's video. For Saskia, it's kind of the same. She has Cabal Coffers, which does nothing unless I have Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, or at least 2 swamps in play. Ideally 3 or more, which I don't have that many swamps. Oh. So she needs Urborg. So why do I have Cabal Coffers? Because I'm running Urborg to take care of any problems I might have with black. So this solves any problems I might have with black mana. And since I have it, I might as well run Cabal Coffers, right? I know, I'm just justifying a bad choice, but I'm doing it anyway. And I own 12 original dual lands. This Taiga, what I like to do is have, for example, Animar has his 3 dual lands. Tropical, Volcanic, and Taiga. Same with Edgar Markov. Edgar Markov has his three dual lands: Badlands, Scrubland, Plateau. And then my Underground Sea, Sig has it because I don't have a Bayou and Tropical to give it to, say, Moldrata. Kestia has her three dual lands: Tundra, Tropical Island, and what's the other one? I hate it when my brain freezes like this. Tundra, blue-white. Tropical, blue-green. So, white-green, Savannah. So she has those three. So I've got this Taiga, and I do not have a red-green. If I had a red-green deck, this would be in there, but I don't. So I just shoved it in Saskia just to give it a home, because why would I leave a dual land out of a deck? Command Tower. This is from the Secret Lair for Sheldon Maneri, and it's really pretty. I really like it. City of Brass. Whenever it becomes tapped, deals 1 damage to you, add 1 mana of any color in your mana pool. Guy's Cradle. I don't put this in the same class as Cabal Coffers because all I need is 1 or 2 creatures and it's going off. Somebody put Serra Sanctum in the same class as Guy's Cradle, and no, it's not. The only 0 casting cost enchantments I can think of are the Ley Lines, and they're only 0 casting costs if you have them in your opening hand. Guy's Cradle, you can drop an Ornithopter, and bang, it's a forest. Reflecting Pool, Hammerheim. I can remove all land walking for target creature until end of turn. I like the art here. So you have my Cradle Growth. If I have Cabal Coffers and you have my out, at least it's a forest. So I've got 2 ways of making it useful outside of. I have one other way of making it useful outside of Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth. If I have Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth and Cabal Coffers, I'm going to Crazy Town for mana. For a Stronghold, 1 black, put target creature card from graveyard and top of the library. You have my Hollow. 1 green, tap, regen. And these 2, just this weekend, I was telling Cube, why don't you buy these? Why don't you buy 1 copy? The price is still low. It's lower than the pandemic buyout highs, that's for sure. They're reserved lists. They're not going to reprint them. They're really fun to play. You should get them. He's like, I'll just proxy them. Why the hell would you proxy a sub 100-year-old reserve list card that you want to play with? A card that will go up in value at some point, and you want to play with it. Why wouldn't you just get it and consider it a money sink, a way to park your money, maybe get some future value, but each to his own. High market. Add 1 colorless menu or sacrifice creature, gain 1 life. So here's the Shockland Fetchland pairs: black white, green white, black green, red white, green red, hello, and now black. What's kind of funny is my 5-color deck, Omnath, I do not have all of his dual lands, shock lands, and fetch lands. He only has one centered on green, because that would be 10 fetches, 10 shocks. If I need the shocks to come into play on tap, that's 20 points of damage over the course of the game. That's pretty heavy. So my 5-color deck only has the green tinged fetches and shocks, and the mana base is centered on green. My 4-color deck, though, she has all of her shocks now and all of her fetches. Yeah, let's put that like that. And then I took out another land, I can't remember which one. I was thinking of putting in Rainbow Veil, but decided I would try Fountain Port again. Last time I tried Fountain Port in this deck, it didn't really impress me. It didn't quite rustle my jimmies. So I'm going to give it another go and see if it works. Tap, add colorless, 2 tap, sacrifice token, draw a card, 3 tap, pay life. You get a 1/1 fish creature token, 4 tap, create a treasure token. So it's also a way, at the end of somebody's turn, if I've got mana sitting around doing nothing, I can put it to use. Last lands are Path of Ancestry. It's a command tower that comes to play tapped. Yeah, you can scry. I have a couple other humans in the deck, but not enough to be reliable. And then I have these two triomes. They're both centered on black. So between the two and white, between the two, I have 2 black, 2 white, 1 green, 1 red. What I'd like to do is get another Jetmir's Gardens, because it's appropriate to use in the deck. I took it out and I gave it to the one I had. Gave it to Voya, because he is a Abzan deck, or not Abzan, Naya deck, green, red, white. So he needed it more than Saskia did. So right now she's got these two. I would also give her a Riveteer's, what is it? The Training Grounds. Zatora's Proving Grounds. That thing. I'd like to get that, but I don't like the full art one too much. And the other one, the set one, it's a boxing ring in a warehouse. It looks stupid. It doesn't say mountain, forest, or plains, or mountain, forest, swamp to me at all. How the fuck is a boxing ring in a warehouse in any way a swamp, forest, or mountain? It makes no goddamn sense. So I'm just going with those instead. Alright, so that's the deck. Let me get this posted and see what you think. Do you want to say anything? This is Saskia. Do you want to say anything before I cut off the video?
I think she's pretty weird because she's just dumb. Because, well, I think that that the battlefield, it should be like a giant plain, and there would be some sort of like a little cliff, and men would be down and fighting with swords, and women would be up and shooting arrows. At least they would get a nice shower.
Well, if women are shooting arrows, they're not shooting war bows. Like a longbow. Maybe she could shoot a longbow, but most women, hell, most men can't fire a longbow.
A what?
A longbow.
What's that?
It's this bow that's about this thick, this big around. It's like a little tree. That's the bow. And it's about as long, twice as long as this table.
Okay. I was on an event with my class, and there was a bow that I could fire, and I did pretty good.
Well, it definitely wasn't a war bow.
But actually, also that man, that guy that was there, like telling us about the like bow shooting or the archery, he said that women are the most talented archers in the world.
Yes, women are really good at taking the shot, but when it comes to a heavy war bow to punch through armor, men are physically stronger. And so they're more likely to be able to shoot something like that. Plus, it's like women are better snipers.
What's that?
People that shoot other people with a rifle. Women are generally better at taking the shot. But men are better at getting to the fucked up places you have to go to take the shot. So I don't think a woman is going to crawl for 3 days across a lawn in the summer in Vietnam in order to shoot a general and then spend 3 days crawling back across the lawn in order to escape detection and capture, which is what Carlos Hathcock did.
Really?
Yeah, he basically spent 3 days crawling across the park here. Nobody saw him because of the way he was doing it. He shot and killed a North Vietnamese general, and then he crawled for 3 days back across the lawn and got away.
Does that really even make sense?
Well, they needed him to go shoot that guy, and he said, I'll do it, so he shot that guy. Anyway, I'm going to post a video.